Hello and welcome back to another gold prospecting video, people. And so far, I've been out prospecting with my friend Steve at the Wee Scottish Burn, and I've also visited an English river in the northwest of England, where I found a few specks of gold. And then I found myself back up in Scotland, way up in the hills, on a new river, where the report stated there was an abundance of gold. I also went prospecting at the Mennock Pass, where the scenery is absolutely stunning, and because it was nice and sunny, I had to go out sniping at a couple of spots I knew of in the area, because the waters are really warm. And again, I found a few specks of gold. And on the last video, I found this lovely crevice in crystal clear waters, where I did really well, and it was great to look at the sluice in close detail to see all the small pieces of gold. And I might not have found a nugget yet, but I've been pleasantly surprised with what I've found so far. I've been consistently finding nice pieces of gold. And no matter how big or small the pieces are, it all adds up at the end of the day. And because of this, I'm back out again. I'm in Scotland, and I'm going way up into the hills, because there's a spot that I've always wanted to try. But it's a hike, I can tell you that. And on every trip, I feel like I'm carrying more and more equipment in my rucksack. I just can't seem to get the weight down. But anyway, I want to share my experiences with you, and this is my adventure for today. Well, it's a lovely, lovely spring day. I'm over 1,000 feet above sea level at the moment. And I'm back out up in the hills in Scotland. It's absolutely stunning. There's nobody here. I've got sheep around me with birds of prey. There's heather coming out on the hills, and I'm walking on this really old compacted gravelly track which will lead me to the burn I want to prospect today. And I'll tell you what, you've got to be fit to play this game, so come on, let's get out there and find some gold. Well, this is really interesting. We're on the first little prospect off the main burn I wanted to do today, tributary burn, and we found some mineralisation. I'm not sure what it is. I don't think chalcopyrite, I don't know. You can see here though, we've got an intrusion here, and it goes down into the water here. You make it out there. It's very clean, very pure. It crumbles away quite easily as well. But it's interesting. And here's some samples. I mean, looking at that, it's so white. Is it worth crushing down? I don't think so. Everything in the pan is extremely light coloured, and there's nothing heavy in there except this piece of lead. Nothing there at all. There's a speck of something there. I don't know what that is. I don't know. So that's a good little prospect, a nice little find, that. So we'll move further on down to the main burn. Ooh. It's remote up here, I'll tell you. Proper remote. So there's the main burn. We're looking to prospect. And along this section, the geology is mixed with sedimentary layers of chert and wacky, and sections of mudstone. There's also igneous formations of felsite and basalt. The maps also show a Paleogene dike suite, and this geology is much younger. And these narrow bands were formed between 66 and 23 million years ago. So we've got some very old rocks and some relatively new rocks. So we've got quite a few meanders around here. I'm going to sample this little gravel bar following that outcrop there. There's a few heavier stones dropping out. So it's quick test pans moving on. The gold might not be up here, I just don't know. Prospected top layer, nothing. A bit deeper down with a suction pump, where the heavy rocks were. 3 or 4 quick test pans, that was it. And it all looks like broken down sandstone in this layer here. Found that with there's some kind of mineralisation and a bit of oxidisation there going on. A bit of a breakaway from a stringer or something. This looks quite interesting. We've got quite a lot of till and then bedrock, which it looks like a decomposing mudstone. You can see here that layer, and then bedrock. So that's always worth a cheeky prospect into some of them cracks. So just having a quick look around, you can see where I've been working into here, scraping into there. You can see the oxidisation. There's also elements where you're picking up some kind of outcrop in that mudstone. You can see it there, see here. So that's interesting. Well, that's quite a remarkable change. You know, we've just moved 200 yards from that tributary burn up there, and I found gold already in that bedrock. It is all decomposing. You scratch away, that's a really bright speck of gold. There are other smaller pieces around it. There's a little speck there and there. Some of this stuff here doesn't half catch the sun, and it looks like it could be gold, unless it's extremely leafy, flaky gold. It ends up at the top of the pan, but I'm not quite sure what that is.
And from my experiences, gold is gold. Nothing else looks like gold in the pan. Things can look like gold. Although it's a hobby, we've always got to keep the gold fever at bay, and go with our instincts and what we know, and also accept that every trip to the river is a learning day. It's more than likely pyrite.
That's interesting. I've worked along here. You can just see where there's a lot going on in this stuff. But if it was gold coming down the river, they're the things I'd be interested in, getting in there. Look how loose that is. You can break it away with your fingers, clean that out. I'll have a quick check on there actually, because it is just about to break away with my fingers. Interestingly, looking at the till, evidence of iron there. So I did have a go at scraping out that. You end up with a lot of decomposed mudstone, and can you see there, we've got an additional speck of gold. It's beautifully bright in the sun. So we're pretty high up here and we're finding gold. I mean, I dare say if you worked hard all down here, you'd find quite a lot more to go with that. You might get a speck every pan, and it's nice to know it's here. What's interesting as well, I'm looking around seeing this stuff here with various stringers on display, but then you've got all these sandstone gravels around it. So I asked myself the question, is the gold within this mudstone? I think it is. Or is it travelling in this down the river? Still in the same spot. The speck count's getting better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 10 specks in there. But I'm just having a look at the bedrock here. We've found quite a few specks now, and I can see the way we have got horizontal ripples. That's a sluice box. Mother Nature's made that. So I might spend a bit more time on here. We've got big stones, move them out of the way, and let's get the gravel pump on all of that, work all that, and we'll sluice it away. So when you're out prospecting, do you bring all this kit? 'Cause I'm telling you, to lug it up that hill there was hard work. I was going bow-legged, to be honest. Right, guess what we're on? One guess and you've got it. We're on crab sticks. Fantastic. Oh, I can smell them from here. Oh yeah. Yeah, I've got that. So we'll just look around now. I'm going to move all these big rocks, get the sluice sets up down there, and we'll slowly rake everything back. The low point there about 10 inches deep, maybe a foot. I can see every little channel, and that might be my afternoon. So I've got to do it now. That's it. I've made my mind up. It's going to happen. Wish me luck. Well, I'm shattered now. There's gold in the sluice. Maybe not as much as we'd expected, but I think we've proven there's gold here. I've moved a lot of dirt there. A lot of it is broken down, shaly mudstone. So you can see a speck there. You can see a speck there. Specks there and there. Specks along this side. I've seen a few specks in the riffles here. There's one there just about poking through. I'm just having a quick look. I've worked as many of these riffles as I can. Anything that was going to crumble, I crumbled it away with my hands.
So it was time for a clean-up. I knew there was gold in the sluice. The question was, how much?
Well, for the initial first reveal, it's not that bad, it's not epic. You can see a lot of the dark stuff here. We've got a fair few specks there. Well, I've had a good day up here today. I was going to prospect loads of spots all the way down, but I think I'll come back here again. Maybe try a bit lower down now. We know it's up here, it's all small. At the end of the day, I've come to a new spot and I found a few specks of gold. I'm happy with that. So anyway, that's me done. I'll get all that kit packed up. And thank you for watching. Until the next time, people, remember, there is no gold rush. Well, they're all of a similar size. It's nice to prospect and to find a few grains of gold like that. But I think the good thing there was I did a couple of test pans and I thought, right, I'll give it a go.